We support laws that make employers' 401k an automatic opt-out, and employees have to opt in to participate in the company 401k and get the match. I'll read that again. We support laws that make employers' 401ks an automatic opt-out, and employees have to opt in to participate in the company's 401k and get the match. I think what he's trying to say is not that you opt out, but that you're not automatically included, and you have to make a conscious choice to opt in to an employer 401k. I think that's the way most of them work anyway, but there may be some. Last time I was working on a 401k, you could write you have the freedom under the act to write your plan either way. So maybe he just works for a company where it's automatic. I don't know.
Mr. Chairman, I think letting the government interfere anyway with people's retirement is a horrible idea. I think we would want.
Okay, thanks, John. I'm not hearing any enthusiasm to take this up, so we'll put this one aside. Second one is the individual TxDOT district engineer should be an elected position.
I'm always in favor of that.
The individual TxDOT district engineer should be an elected position. I mean, to me, that's kind of in Kuwait. Okay, we'll put that one aside too. All right, thanks. That's all of that finalizes business. We haven't been voting on each of these sections like we did yesterday, just because it's so much already done, and I think we're going to go through pretty quick. I was going to vote on the whole thing at the end. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. All right, next is finance. And Karen, I need any finance things. Oh, Christina, thank you. Swap you. Thank you. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Senate District 17, Caleb Piedo.
Yes.
I would like to offer an amendment to abolish property tax.
Are you in finance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold on a second.
632. It used to be 632. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
So my amendment is to add businesses and individuals after the property tax system for business. Correct. That's a place. We support replacing the property tax system for businesses and individuals.
We had this in State Affairs.
There it is.
Second.
Without objection, it is adopted.
All right.
Thank you, Caleb.
Mr. Chairman, may I suggest a slight change? David Westbrook, SD26. May I suggest a change in the title from abolish property tax to axe the tax?
No? Gephardt? I think we're going to adopt that. Yeah, it's okay.
Are you going to
We kinda
leave
skipped
property
ahead.
out of there? All right, I got to make a friendly amendment. I know axe the tax is really cutesy and, flows off the tongue.
Yeah,
We gotta
axe the
have
property
in there.
tax.
Yeah.
Just two below that, we've got bonds create bondage. which I love, but should this go, and they've got a note that says refer to government election integrity, but I think it goes in state affairs, really.
I think there was another one in election.
Mr. Chairman, we did talk about that a little bit. This is Andy Eller, SD 24. We did talk about that a little bit yesterday, and Tom Green and I talked about that. And we have, the election integrity one and his. There's no conflict between them, but there's some slight differences in them. So I'm not sure where you want to take that. But I'm okay with whatever the body decides.
And the other thing, the reason why I don't want to, I would argue against moving it is because the bonds do impact what our taxes are, and this is a tax section. And so saying it in two different places that way, I don't think hurts at all.
Yeah, I'm okay. We'll leave it there. So down under transparency and oversight, right to use cash and cash substitutes.
And I'm going to need to go back to the one before that, but I'll let you finish this.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's finish up this. Does anybody want to make a change here on this? It says see Texas resistance to the Great Reset, item D.
I know why the editor made the recommendation, because it's also called for in the Great Reset plank, but I think having a standalone, I support having a standalone plank that way too. I mean, it's.
Where is that? Is that where is the what section?
Markets and regulations of business.
And for full disclosure, this is my baby.
It's still in the business section, so we'll just leave it. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so that finishes finance.
Mr. Chairman,
Who?
Jason Vaughn, SD 13.
Okay.
I need to move to amend in the Fed.
Oh,
And,
yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yes. And I've sent the language already, but at the end of it, add the language, replace the Federal Reserve with a national banking system focused on creating credit for American prosperities. I'm sorry, American producers.
Who's saying that?
That's Jason Bond. Hey, Jason, we're not ready. Hold on.
Is it that? It's not that.
It's the in the Fed one. Where's the in the Fed?
Got to speak against it. But I have to hear from his.
No, he don't do anything. He just.
He's been hijacked.
I don't do stuff behind the scenes, dude. I say what I'm gonna do, I do it. And then they're like stupid and surprised when I do it. So
I'm looking for the in the Fed one.
Jason Vaughn, I didn't receive that one.
You didn't receive that one? Okay.
Unless it's there's a long recidivism one I got from you, and that's the only one.
Oh, I might have. I apologize. I may have forgotten to include it. I thought I did.
Read it slowly and I'll type.
Replace the Federal Reserve with a national banking system focused on creating credit for American producers.
Yep. Franklin, what is your point?
Farmers, builders, those sorts of things. That's the. It just, instead of going in like American manufacturing producers, farmers, etc.
Is there a second on this?
This guy ain't so sure about over here.
Okay. Susan seconded. Susan Williamson. Discussion.
I think we heard a ton of debate and our testimony on this. I think we've all gotten about 100 emails as well. My SD is very committed to this, so you should have a ton of information on it already.
Mr. Chairman, Stephen Callis, ST8. We've heard plenty of things for this. Might we have a minute or two to?
That's why I'm asking.
Yes,
We're
I'd
doing
like to
3
speak to
3,
this.
So we've had one in favor. Now we need one against.
I'd like to speak against.
Thank you, sir.
This was considered in the Finance Committee, and I understand why, Jason. I mean, I think all the people who testified for this are from SD 13. We did not, but we ultimately rejected this because the national bank is a very Hamiltonian idea. As conservatives, we are Jeffersonians and Jacksonians. If you look at the history of the national bank, the arguments against it and the reason why it was ended are almost identical to all the reasons people have against the Fed. A financial oligarchy, it inflates the currency, it encourages speculation. So that is why we included the plank to end the Fed, but we did not want to include language for a national bank. Those who have testified encouraging replacing it with a national bank, their arguments for ending the Fed are all correct, and we all share those arguments. Where we differ is on how it should be replaced.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Is there anyone else that wants to speak for? I'll speak against. I don't think we should amend this at all. I'm not even sure we should end the Fed, quite frankly, because before we had the Fed, we had bank crashes left and right, and the business cycle was a lot more volatile because of the instability in the supply of credit and currency. The Fed's not perfect, far from it. I'm not necessarily defending it. It kind of depends on who the chairman is. We've had some really good chairs. The last couple we've had have been horrible. But that's not a reason to abolish the organization itself. So unless there's somebody who wants to reply to that, I'm going to call the vote. All in favor of approving the amendment to this, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Nay. The nays have it.
Privilege real quick. Can I just say,
Vaughn.
while I understand all the reasons on that, I just, SD 13 is I believe, one of the smallest SDs, and I'm very proud that I believe yesterday we still had managed to have the most testimony of any SD. So I am very grateful for all the committed people on that.
And you're doing a great job representing them, Jason. Thank you. Okay. On to, but we have one other that was submitted to the secretary. It's 4 pages long. Instead of my reading the whole thing, I'm just going to kind of outline it, and then y'all can tell me what you want to do. The title is Resolution to End Mortgage Fraud and Illegal Mortgage Processing Activities in the State of Texas, and to enact stiff penalties on companies and credit bureaus who fail to accurately report credit scores and payments. So basically, I'm asking you